Hello,
Hello,
hello.
hello.
Hi, everyone. This is Dave and Roxanne.
We're just jumping in right after our Millionaire Mastermind. It happens every weekend for our
Every
online,
week,
every week, every
every
weekend,
Wednesday.
every Wednesday for the whole online business community. And today was a very special day because it was some of the top online leaders that have been in the business for some of them 8 years. We've been in it 6 years, over 6 years. Some, five, three, two. It's just a kind of a spread, and they ask us questions
Mhm.
on some specific topics. And the theme today was reboot. Some of the questions, to be honest, was hard questions. Uh, Good thing we didn't ask the questions; we just listened. Our question, what was our question?
Yeah, I think our question was,
Oh
what are
yeah,
the routines that you do so that when you're overwhelmed, what do you do when you're overwhelmed,
yeah.
or like when you feel like burnt out or
How do you
something? Yeah,
reboot yourself? So my,
yeah.
well, what I was saying is that it starts with having a routine, right?
Hmm.
For me, it's our morning routine. We've shared it to our community already, in our, especially our tribe. Our morning routine is really the miracle morning, which is the silence, affirmation, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing. And it's really interesting because if you've done this for 21 days consistently, you know how centered you are, how ready you are for the day, and you could tell the difference because when you pray and you meditate, for example, it's this is scientific that your prefrontal cortex, right, the front part of your, it actually increases, which means that it increases your will.
Yeah.
And it's this slight difference between, for example, if you struggle with desserts like me, right, when you see a dessert, it becomes automatic for you to just pick up the dessert and eat it. But when you increase your will, your prefrontal cortex increases. You can actually, there's a pause, and you can actually think, okay, um, I don't have to do that. I don't have to choose to eat that. So that's a funny part. But what if your struggle is you're easily irritated, you're short, in temper, for example, right?
Hmm.
If you don't increase your prefrontal cortex by meditating and praying in the morning, which centers yourself, right? It could be the difference between, my son dropping something and just, losing it, to like, okay, I could relax myself, I could calm myself and center myself, right? So what we do, the routines, is what you do daily that,
Hmm.
it's just, I call it the slight edge, which means that it doesn't seem like it makes a difference, but long term, right? If you all stack it up, right, you will see the staggering difference, 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days from now. In fact, there's a thing here that says, um I always look at this, especially because I'm doing the fitness thing. It takes 4 weeks for you to see yourself changing, yourself, 4 weeks of consistently doing something. It takes 8 weeks for your friends and family to see,
To notice.
to notice that you're changing, right? That you're more calm now, you're more loving, if that's what you're working on, if it's fitness. But it takes 12 weeks for the rest of the world, you know, to see that you've truly changed and embodied that habit or that new person that you're working on. So keep going, right?
Yeah, and also I think the routines that really help us is really trying, like doing the best that we can to sleep early, but also wake up early, wake up earlier than our son. Because if he wakes up earlier than us, that means we slept in,
Yeah.
right? And usually we slept in when we sleep late, when we're tired, right? But if we have, if we're able to wake up, let's say by 5 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock, and then have that morning routine that we shared. It's the miracle morning, the savers, when we do our silence, our prayer and meditation, our affirmation, our visualization. When we make the time to do that for ourselves, we prepare ourselves and we find ourselves more calm, more
Yeah.
happier, more able to serve our son, to serve each other, to serve our team, our mentorship group better.
Yeah.
Because I find myself being easily irritated to my son when I'm short with my with my routine, with my, when when I'm feeling overwhelmed. And another thing that we shared is that
Before you dive into that,
yeah.
going back to the routine, talking about the routine, is that it actually Jim Rohn is the almost like the father of personal development. He's actually the mentor of Tony Robbins. He says, you know, work harder on yourself than your job.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest work is the work on yourself. And Tony Robbins kind of changed it a little bit. He says 80% of success is your psychology, which is your mindset, and 20% is the strategy. But most people, we flip it. You know, we want to wake up first thing in the morning and really just do the work
Answer emails
because you
or
think that's what's gonna move the needle. But no, you need to work harder on yourself. And what is that? It's the daily routines, right? You're listening to, personal development, doing your, your affirmations,
your prayer.
your visualization, using your mental faculties, as Bob Proctor would says, you're practicing. It's called the inner size. If you inner size before you exercise, it's more effective. If you inner size before you do the activity, right, you're more effective, right? So why? Because you're using your mental faculty, your perception shifts, right? When you affirm yourself, you say, it's going to be an incredible day. It's going to be an amazing day. You visualize your goal. You're using the mental faculties that God gave all of us, but nobody taught us how to use, right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, search Bob Proctor and search paradigm and mental faculties. You're working on what's really stopping you to reach your goals. That's the thing that stops you. It's not what you're doing. What's stopping you is you from you, right? Because of your perception, because of what you think is hard, what you think other people can do compared to what you can. And when you shift the perception and create a new image of who you can become, that's when everything changes. Sorry.
Yeah.
Next.
And also I think another thing that we share is what do we do when we're overwhelmed, when we're I think another thing that really helped us, and we learned it from from the seminars and training that we took, is we take time for each other. We do have our weekly dates. We also have our weekly dates with our son, so that not just for we make time for the things that matters in our lives, right? And also when we started the online business in 2018, we were working in our corporate job. So we have jobs from 8 to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. So as much as possible, we don't schedule anything after work, right? Or after our day jobs. We do our business, and then we automate things. We make sure that we have advertising, we have leads coming in. So we have, even in the pockets of our time, we have results. It's important for us, our weeknights and our weekends, right? So we make sure that we prioritize those things in our lives, so that we're not going to be burnt out or overwhelmed. And of course we make the time for in the morning.
And that's also a perception shift, right? That's why you got to work on that mental faculty.
Yeah, because we thought that we
before
can
before the online business, because our perception is that if the customer needs us now, especially on the weekend, we have to make time or else we won't make any money. That was like our old way of thinking, because our other business models is that we had to chase the customers. In the evening is when they're available, on the weekends. So we thought we had to always be available. But when we started the online business, we set a clear boundary.
Yeah, we set boundaries
That on the
yeah.
weekend we're not working, in the evening we're not working. And what we found out is that we are more effective and more successful. And we always teach our coaches the doctor mentality, right? They book an appointment with the doctor because they need the doctor's solution, right? So if you shift your mentality that they they reached out to you because they need your solution, then they will find that time. Like, you cannot tell a doctor, I'm available on the weekends, like, or in the evening only, can you change the time? No, you actually book some time off so you can see the doctor. So when we shift that mentality, we create a clear boundary. People came to us.
Yeah.
We became more effective because we're more centered. We've done the work on ourselves and gave us some time for ourselves. That's when everything exploded for us.
Yeah, and also I think we don't answer the calls right away. And that's intentional, because we wanted like to have the appointments for it, right? Like we don't just in the middle of let's say we're having conversation with family, we're having conversation with people, or we're in the middle of something, we don't want to be disturbed for something just because someone is looking for it, is waiting for us, right? Because we believe that, it is your business and you decide, what kind of lifestyle you want, what kind of business you want, what kind of, healthy boundaries. So I think those are,
Last thing.
they talk, huh?
Oh, you go ahead.
Yeah, they talk about the things that other people are sharing as well, like
The shift for
about,
me, yeah.
yeah, like the other one is that you set time limit, I mean, not time limit but deadlines, specific goals, I mean specific time, because this person wants to, one of the inspiring story that was shared earlier, Tori, she shared about, she wanted to reach a certain milestone, but said she wants to reach it by age 35 years old, right? She reached it, but then she almost 36, but she still reached it before
Sure.
36, right?
And one of the things that uh, that story today, which is a pretty important milestone. We call it the sixth milestone, right? He reached that. That is a big milestone, and one of the things I really realized today
Mm-hmm.
is that the people that succeed in any business, especially in our online business as well, is the people that says, this is my plan A.
Yeah.
This is not some backup. That's what you said. This is
Oh yeah.
always has been my plan A. I'm gonna find a way to make it work, and I'm gonna stick to this until I make it work if others are working it. And it's incredible because her story is kind of like a story, but she's more creative because our online business requires ad budget, right?
Mm-hmm.
For us, we were just selling stuff and working extra job. She was even more creative. She was going to like Value Village and flipping stuff to create an ad
That's really
budget.
good.
And she had that other app, like the teacher app, where she would like
Teacher. Oh yeah,
put
yeah,
her
yeah.
resources and sell stuff there, whatever she's doing there, which is earning money from that. And the recycle, the can thing.
Skip.
This is the first
Skip
time I
the
heard.
dipple.
This is the first time I heard of that. But he said, and which is so true. Entrepreneurs are problem solvers.
Mm.
The problem was ad budget. Some people in their perception, I just don't have any money because I have extra money. No, she found a way.
Yeah.
Like we found a way
Yeah.
because like Mike, like the host today, the millionaire host, right? Said they also didn't have any money. Most people that starts an online business or any new venture don't have any money. That's why
Yeah.
we're all here to improve our career, our income.
business.
So
Yeah.
you find a way. You're a problem
So
solver.
for the people that are watching and you're checking us out, wanting to start an online business, but your problem is, oh, I don't have money.
That's a virtual high five. Because when we started the business,
Everyone that starts this business don't have the money,
Mhm.
right?
So that's not the problem.
Yeah. So because if you have the money, why would you do this? You know what I mean? Like maybe a few people will do it just because they don't have anything, like they want purpose, they want something to do.
But for most people,
yeah,
they're coming in either more time or more money.
Yeah.
Right. That's what you're here for. But the question is, just like Tori, the person that hit this, we call it the sixth milestone, right,
Mhm.
of this online business, right? Is that are you willing to, stick to it, find a way to make it work,
Mhm.
especially when it's not working? That's the key, and that's the entrepreneurial journey, right?
Mhm.
It's not a perfect straight line; it's up and down. But today, she celebrated her story because she did not give
Yeah.
up.
I
And
love
that,
what she said too, that she said it's not impossible, it's just hard.
yeah,
Yeah, like whatever your dreams are,
Mhm.
right? If you want to get out of that, if you want to, become a millionaire or to have that financial abundance
to
for
become
your family,
financially free.
yes, it's not impossible, it's just hard. So choose your battle. Like, it's hard to have your two jobs, three jobs. It's hard to be broke. So it's also, you just have to choose battle. It's hard to pursue your dreams and goals, but it's worth it.
Yeah, and like for me, I started the entrepreneurial journey because I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he talked about the concept of of passive income. That
Mhm.
really blew my mind. Right, passive income is money coming in without you working, right? And to become financially free is you have enough passive income, money that comes in without you working, equal or more to your
Mhm.
expenses, right? When I saw that, sounds like an awesome deal. Tried to work on it. It wasn't impossible, but it's just hard, right?
Yeah.
But we got here because we did not give up. We
Yeah.
made it happen. So if you're watching this and you've been following us, or if you're in our business community already, do not give up. Keep going. Again, I wanna end with this. What I said earlier about consistencies. I'm gonna remind you again to be consistent in anything that you do, because let's talk about the online business, right? Say you're posting or you're doing advertising. It takes 4 weeks for you to see your business changing. You yourself, right?
Just you.
Getting
Just for
some
you.
traction, maybe getting some likes, or maybe your ad. If you keep like Tori was saying, she did 30 different kinds of ads, right? It takes 4 weeks to see your business changing. It takes 8 weeks for your friends and family to see and this is with consistency. Posting, advertising. It takes 12 weeks of consistency for the rest of the world
So
to
that's
see
90
it
days.
keep going if you do it consistently. But the challenge is people stop and go, right? So
Oh no. What is 12 weeks?
12 weeks.
Yeah, 3
3
months
months,
or
right?
something. Yeah.
That's why there's a 90-day
Yeah.
thing where you
Yeah, lastly is we shared 2 books in our mastermind session today. We want to share it with you. We were asked, what are the books that help you? If you can name one book each that really helps us in this business, in our journey. Miracle Morning Book by Hal Elrod.
yeah,
So
just gives us the morning routine, right?
yeah, and the second one is the Total Money Makeover book by Dave Ramsey. It really helps us become debt free. Helps us have that intense.
Yeah.
Gazelle intense to have that focus in our business. Focus on our, on even if you don't have a business, get this book because it's totally changed our
It's really
life.
interesting because when you read a book, it's a finance book, but it wasn't. Yes, it helped our finance, but what it was a character molding experience.
Yeah.
That when your character change, which is something something like Tori shared this, don't look at the fruits. People want to see the results, but look at the roots. What they did. What's the character of the person that is successful? And this is what the Total Money Makeover taught us to have, focused intensity, that we could focus on one goal, which is $86,000 of consumer debt. That was our first goal.
Yeah.
And become creative around it and really focus on it until we get the job done. And it really, the side effect, the side character effect was that we learned to become,
Focus.
Number one. We had
Contentment.
spirit of contentment. Like we didn't know how to delay gratification. We became very resourceful. We found ways around how to get around not being in debt anymore, right? But we still have resources, like this girl sharing in the mastermind. But read the book. Highly suggested, especially if you're in debt, because it is a finance book. But it's really, if you can, I always say this, if you can get good with your personal finance by learning this, we can be good in business.
Yes.
Because they're kind of interrelated. So thanks for tuning in. We just wanted to share what's in our head, dump it, because
there's
didn't have much time.
And then I think how many speakers aside from us, so we learned a lot from them as well. So it's really powerful. So if you're in our business community, watch the replay if you haven't watched that. If you are checking us out, get started, because we're excited. 2025, we just finished
We're
the
fired
first
up.
quarter, but we're excited
We're
for
gonna go
the
all
next.
in the
Yes.
second quarter. God bless everybody.
God bless you. Bye. Thank you.